where we're at, TNT.
In the land of footy madness where the crowds collide, Taz, Todd and Egi, we're ready for the ride. Taz rocks the blues with Crips in his heart. Viewers' questions coming now, that's just the start. Goals and speckies in the heat of the game. AFL glory, yeah, it's all the same. TNT Footy, we're living the dream. With Taz, Todd and Egi, we're a winning team.
G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of TNT Footy. I'm Taz, beside me we've got Egi. How you going, mate?
I'm very well, thank you.
And at the end there we've got Moisty. What's going on, mate?
Fuck all, boys. What are we up to?
Mate, you look different.
No glasses anymore, mate. We're good to go.
No,
The eyes lasered away. We're
How many fingers am I holding up?
no two, mate. I can see better than I've ever seen with glasses, mate. It's
Fantastic.
even better than I've ever had. I just can't read at the moment because they're still healing.
So you can see really well, but you can't read.
No, yeah. If I move
That's
like
just-
this,
that's
I
you
can read
normal,
the
isn't
whole screen.
Even
Come
with
up
glasses,
here.
you couldn't read.
Can't read nothing. No. Heaps better. I recommend anyone get it done because I see heaps better than when I was wearing glasses.
Fantastic, mate.
I've spent
Fantastic.
the 3 nights I've woken up, though, I've spent half hour looking for my glasses each morning. Well, maybe 5 minutes. Where the fuck did I put them? I do this all day. You know how you do this? But I just constantly do that.
Bit of a hard habit to break.
Yeah.
Welcome, George. Welcome, Turtle. Welcome, Jamar. Turtle. That intro is just us boys having a laugh while the song's going. So it was supposed to not be able to hear our voice. Just see our pretty faces while you listen to the song.
That's it. Tonight we've got another big show, boys. We've got all the results of round 8, round 9 accent. No, we're coming round 9, isn't it?
It was round
Sorry,
9.
I can't read. I cannot read.
Do you want me to take over?
You take over. I was trying to do it, get us moving, but I can't see. I can't see that far.
Maybe you should go find the
close.
glasses.
So as Moisty was saying, all the far out. No, I can't even.
Oh, Tazzy, Eggy, you want to take
All
this
right,
one? Tazzy's
welcome to
done.
tonight's show. We're going through round 9, and we're going to have a big look into round 10 with popular Moisty's controversial call. Hopefully you'll be able to read it. Woo Girls Wowee, viewers' questions, and we'll provide an update on TNT Footy. And also live right now is our Patreon. You can check it out in the link below. It's a $9 membership just to support the. Well, I thought it was my apologies, $5. When I clicked on it, it said $9. I'll let Taz plug in. He knows all the ins and outs.
Oh, we've started tonight real well. So Patreon, we've decided we're going to set it up because things do get a bit costly in the background. But what you get is where you get access to exclusive competitions that we'll be running. We'll organise meetups at games and maybe not at games. And also any membership goes towards us that cost for the show, but also doing giveaways and things like that. So it's all for good cause.
And Jamar is now known as Jamar the Pickleball King. But that's until he meets us, boys. That's for sure.
I like the name Jamar. What brought that up? How'd you come across that?
The change is on. All right, let's get straight into it, boys. We've got Freo Collingwood.
Yes. Collingwood's D side with going over to the west and beating Freo.
I don't
Can I
know if
just
it was
say-
a D side, but they're missing 4 players. I thought Freo were going to get done with the 4 outs, but Collingwood showed a bit.
Can I just say this round of footy was actually explosive?
Oh mate, it was sensational. Like
There
Gold
was
Coast
only about
Bulldogs.
2 games you
Three.
didn't want to watch.
Three. Oh yeah, there was only 3 games you didn't want to watch, but
Yeah.
everything was
unreal.
pretty good.
Absolutely unreal. Yes, Jamar, that's right. We did know it was Statsman, but it's now Pickleball King. You play pickleball. Is it any good? I've heard good things.
I like it. There's a place down in Carrum Downs that we've been to a couple of times. It's fun. It's like a condensed sort of version of tennis, and you got like a more of a hard baton with a bigger ball. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a bit like
I like
obviously
big balls, don't you, Eggy?
I do. Only on my
There he
chin.
goes. So what about Elliot, the local kid, your rower, kicking 7?
Ooh.
Huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 6 or 7?
Oh, no, he kicked 7.
Jeez.
I'm sure he kicked 7.
Do you want me to double check that for you?
No, we'll just play it. He kicked
He
7.
kicked 6. 6 goals too.
6 goals.
Don't you be
Rounds
hurting
up
your
to 7.
eyes. Get off the
Rounds up to
AFL
7.
page. I can
No,
tell with your
that
reflection.
hurts. Yeah, mate, that hurts.
But yeah,
Pies are great.
yeah, they were great. But Freo were in it. They actually had more shots than Collingwood on goal. But yeah, they just couldn't get it
I'll
between the middle.
just about say this though. If it was any other team but Freo, I think Pies lose there.
Yeah.
Freo, very slow, very disappointing.
Their tools aren't really performing either. They're trying to play 3 tools in Amos, Tracy, and Voss, and they're just not having an impact.
Well, you say that, but in the first 2 minutes, Tracy had already kicked 2. So
Yeah, but then what happened?
yeah, I
but
know.
then
They
he
woke up to
ended
it.
on
They woke
2.
up to it and be able to cut it off.
Correct. You guys are just so well drilled and so well coached.
Yeah.
And you've got that next man up attitude. But yeah, if it was against quality opposition, you obviously wouldn't have rested those players
Yes.
or that many.
I would go as far to say, even if it was against West Coast, I think West Coast win that game.
Oh, I wouldn't go to that
That's
extent.
how poor
Oh.
Fremantle were.
No, I wouldn't go to that extent.
I
Freo was
reckon,
still
yeah.
okay.
I don't think they were
I'm
good
used to
at
getting
all.
the uppercuts on a weekly basis from the show from Todd.
That's not an
I'll take that
uppercut,
on
you
the
just,
chin. I'll take it on the chin.
You rested 4, and Freo should have beat you.
They should have, yeah.
Well, you think Tom Mitchell comes in next week? He had 10
Nah,
disposals.
4 weeks. He only played half a game though in the VFL, but I reckon I think he's got 3 more games. They said they want to play him in the VFL.
Just get him a bit.
before
Well, there's no rush.
before he gets the option to get called up, because
Yeah,
at the
do
moment,
you
how do you
think
fit
he
him
gets
in?
in?
Yeah, how do you
Yeah.
fit him in at the moment?
Yeah, well, I picked him up in draft, so I hope he gets.
Maybe
gets-
to go. Maybe he comes in as a rester.
Yeah.
A permanent rest, a swingman to rest. He goes out the wing, side bottom gets a rest. Goes in the middle, Pendlebury gets a rest.
Well,
Jacobs gets a
I wouldn't surprise if he does get into the team. He would be sub for the first 2 or 3 games.
Probably.
I don't think he's a sub though. He's an accumulator, not a sub.
He might come on late though,
Yeah.
or he might
Yeah,
finish.
but what do
early.
you do with
don't know.
an accumulator as a sub?
Yeah,
They're-
I think
they're
I think they need X Factor as the sub role.
Yeah, accumulators are not good subs because they accumulate the ball during the game. They don't come on and break the game.
Same as Ruckman. You don't put Ruckman in subs.
No, exactly right.
But Turtle's got here, Pies very good at adapting instantly when we concede goals. I do agree with that.
Yes,
I do agree with that.
that.
Lockie Schultz incident. He
Yes.
was concussed badly, and it's not his first concussion. So I think he's a bit of a watch to see how long he's out for.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he
he
could be out
might
for a
be
while. I reckon
4 or 5,
yeah. And
Just when he's
Just
starting.
because they don't need him to make the finals now, they've sort of got a bit of comfort. You don't need to rush him back.
Yeah.
Especially
You
when
take
you,
your time
you,
with
you
him.
only got two games away for the rest of the season.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, nice little poke there, Egi.
Don't have to leave home.
No,
I think it's pretty disappointing because he's been good this year, to be honest. He's been really good. So, g'day, Artie. Welcome to the show, my friend.
He
Welcome,
sort of
Artie.
was
Still
leading
not walking
all
alone.
night, though. The toughness he was showing all night.
Yeah.
The brute,
Well,
he
it's
was sort of
against
leading the way.
it was against his old team, so they always lift against their old team.
But he
Yeah,
was sort of leading the way for him, sort of got him going a bit.
Do you know who I like the look of? Is Ned Long.
Yeah, I do like him. I've
Doesn't
been
get a
pretty-
lot of it, but lays tackles and
Well, he
lays
does.
them
He does
hard.
get a lot of it. Like he regularly gets over 15. I've put him in my multis a few times, and he's always.
Oh, did
he's
he?
always
He
got
got
up.
12 on the weekend.
Oh, did he?
For a
My
midfielder.
apologies. But
He midfielder?
he has been playing in the midfield. Like, I have noticed him in the bounce a couple of times. But then
Yeah.
I think sometimes they do move him up forward or up back, one of the two.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
Okay.
get on to Tassie's game. 'Cause
Yeah,
we-
moving into
remember last
St
week we got
Kilda
him?
Carlton. I did. I liked it. Big at the MCG. Usually they play these games at Marvel, but it was good to see it at the MCG.
Now, I don't think St Kilda did. Now,
Nah,
St Kilda played Marvel a lot better, and I've
They-
heard a
they
lot of
do.
St Kilda supporters saying they weren't happy it was moved. It's
You know
like
what, though?
another Geelong thing.
well, you were there.
The re-
Taz. What was the crowd? What was the
The,
crowd?
the reason they did it was
was
because
for the bigger crowd. I
the
know why
Spuds
they did it.
game, so they can get more donations. And
yeah.
the crowd was over 65,000 people.
that's
You
good.
can't get that at Marvel.
Yeah, but I know why they do it, but it still hurts teams. It hurts Geelong every final series.
But they've got to learn to play the G as well.
Yeah, but what if they miss the game by this one? That's at Marvel, they win that game.
No, they're the one. It was their choice to move it.
I know it was their choice, but the
So-
fans aren't happy. But it's the same as Geelong. Geelong don't get the option most times.
Yeah. No, it is what it is. The game was quite boring, to be honest, because Ross doing what he does in the second half just decided to suffocate the team.
Yeah.
Right.
Just going on that though, what happens when Tassie comes into the comp and Tassie play their first final series? Do they all of a sudden go into MCG mode, or are you happy for them to play with 10,000 people?
Well,
Finals is
I think,
different.
yeah, and I think it's Tassie's getting a 27,000
Well,
stadium, aren't they?
still 27,000 a home final against Collingwood. Do you think they play it there or at the G?
Nah, they played most finals. I think that in the contract it's at the G. But
But when it's Tassie's home final,
I don't know when it's Tassie.
that's right. Yeah, I think
Because
there's going to be a lot of riding over this.
we haven't even crossed that bridge with Gold Coast yet.
No, we haven't. As soon as they get a home final, will they get a home final? Or
Will be
will that
Brisbane.
go
They have
to
to.
the
It'll be
Well, will
Brisbane,
it go
I
to the
think.
Gabba though? Do they have to? Look at Geelong. When was the last time Geelong had a home final?
Um,
They don't.
yeah, but they
It's at the
they have
NCG.
home games at the G. Gold Coast and that don't have home games at the G.
But Geelong only have home games at the G because the AFL makes them have home games at the G against powerhouse clubs.
Yeah,
Geelong
still-
don't want to play at the G. They're unbeaten down it. The only
GWS,
other one
yeah.
with a better thing is GWS. Better record at GW.
Yeah, I know,
is
it's
GWS,
crazy.
but-
We'll
All right, we're
touch
getting
on
off
that a bit
topic
later. Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
getting off
yeah,
topic. Going on your bloody tangents, Moisty.
St Kilda Carl. Yeah, well, it's just a bias stuff. I'm a Victorian supporter and I want out. Anyway, yeah, I thought it was a bit of a sloppy game. St Kilda just played their defensive thing.
Yeah.
No attack.
Yeah, Nazai
No,
Wanganeen was outstanding for
Yeah.
St Kilda. Jack Sinclair
bit-
was pretty good.
Bit of an injury worry there halfway through when he was limping around and come off the field, but then he was back on within 10 minutes, which is good to see.
Yeah, bit of injury carnage for Carlton first half with Akers in his shoulder, Cowan his hamstring, McGovern his sternum, and I think there was one more.
I thought Young had a pretty good game.
Oh, Haynes actually. Haynes hurt his neck.
Oh, Tassie's just like walked over that. He didn't like the young
Well,
comment.
I only said that because of the video you posted last week, so I thought we might be able to
Yeah.
touch on that.
I was saying after Young kicked his first two-quarter goals, in one quarter, that's it, that if he continues on this form and plays well for the rest of the game, I'd eat my words. Well, he didn't do shit after that. did he?
How many goals did Kerno kick, Tassie?
Kerno kicked 3,
How many
had
did
12
Mackay kick?
disposals, 7 marks. Mackay had 3 goals, 19 disposals.
This isn't
10
going well
marks.
for me, is it?
Lewis
I was trying to
Young had-
compare one to...
Had 2 goals, 7 disposals, and 3 marks.
See, I didn't really watch the game. I highlight St Kilda and go delete. Whatever game they play, I sort of
Yeah,
can't find myself to get up and watch.
they shouldn't be prime time again. That's my opinion.
Well,
Artie,
until they play attacking footy.
if you're looking for Spud's hat, you just got to go down to Patreon and join Patreon, and every time you're a member on Patreon, that he'll wear a hat. Just for you.
The show might buy him one.
Welcome, Brody.
Yeah, so I
Welcome,
can't really
mate.
speak much to that. But Carlton looked like on the replay, on the highlights I've seen, they look like they were good but okay. I don't think they were excellent.
We got brought down a ring because of the way St Kilda were playing. So for the way that how they drag teams down,
Yeah.
they always do. But good signs from Carlton, good bounce back from the week before. Again, it's like a roller coaster following this team. But all right, we're going to keep moving on.
Keep going, we
Hawthorn,
got-
Melbourne.
So this game was the same. 3/4 time it was okay, and then Hawthorn just went see you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just put the foot down, didn't they?
Turtle's getting loud in the chat, in the draft chat, posting pictures of dresses, but I think he went the early
Oh
crowd.
no, he's very,
He went the
very
early
short-lived.
crowd.
It was very, very short-lived. There's Hawthorn's not missing final. By the time that game comes around, they're both going to be 1, 2, and 3. So I
But do you reckon
think the dress is done.
when Cosy Pickett got that trip in the goal score, it sort of changed the momentum for him?
It's 40 points. It's not.
Yeah, I know, but like it was
They
like,
they kicked that one. It's still Hawthorn kick another 8.
Melbourne are in trouble.
yeah.
When you've got Max Gawn, almost their best player and most impactful week on week.
What are
they've
you
got
saying? Ruckman can't be.
No, he's 36 years of age.
You know,
Actually,
the best
what's
player
that?
at Carlton's been, the best
What-
player at North Melbourne's been, the best player at
What he's
St Kilda.
got-
They're all Ruckman.
But hang on a second. What is happening in the world when you've got the older players actually dominating again?
What's wrong with that? No,
Zorko,
they did
Well-
come out and say that it's if the older players were playing in this generation, the medical science better, you got better bodies, you can look after your bodies, you got better routines, saunas, ice baths, all this. It's helping the older blokes get rehabilitated quicker.
it's fantastic because you get to see the good players continue for longer. I think it's amazing. I think it's really good for footy. Really good for footy. James Worpel back to his best with 28 touches. Bowie's been a bit of a surprise dark horse this year with touches. I think he's been getting a bit of run through the midfield. I'm not too sure. Or it's just been in the defence a lot. So 20,
Just been there all
touches.
game, mate.
Petrarca 26. CJ again for Hawthorn had another outstanding game. Cozzy Pickett 17, 2 goals. So there's a bit of a spread across the board, which is good. Gunston kicked 3 goals, 4. So he could have actually had a massive day out. And most of that was in the second half.
I can hear just before I can see this. It's something about Moisty, but I'll get you boys to read it out because I can't actually read it. The chat's going bananas at the moment.
Brody said, F off De Koning's the best player at Carlton. You flog Moisty.
He's from the highest rated Carlton player at the moment. If you go
Actually,
look at
he's
ratings.
not. Depends. If you go by AFL 26, it's Patrick Cripps, and he's the highest rated player in the game.
Not rated, the highest points player this season. If you go off points, Supercoach or AFL, he is probably double Cripps at the moment. Ruckman score well, but he's the best player at Carlton at the moment, and he will be in red, white, and black next year.
He's been okay. He's been okay.
Okay, he's been dominant. The only games you win is when he gets up.
The last few weeks haven't been great. So, all right, let's keep moving on. Essendon and the Swans. Now, you went to this game, Moisty.
Oh, I was at this game after my eye surgery, so I could see spectacularly. It was great to see the whole field. It was fantastic, but it was over at halftime. My brother walked out at halftime, and me and Dunny sat in there, and then Swans had a chance to win it. So
they come back late.
They did come back late.
It was like 40 points in the first quarter.
Yep. Geez, they're missing Gould Papley and what's his name?
They've got 9 or 10 out. I actually went through the list. They've got no forward line. They've got no wings. They've got half their midfield's missing. Their back line's decimated.
Yeah.
The Ruckman's... Was it Sam Draper? Isn't it usually Sam
Grundy.
Draper? Oh, no.
No, Grundy's still
looking
Ruckin.
at Sydney. I was thinking of Essendon, sorry, my bad.
But
Apologies.
Sydney got going late, but Essendon just stopped.
That's what they do, though.
They were just walking, like full walking. And if Sydney straightened up, they win this game by 8 goals. That's how dominant they were in that last quarter.
And I think that's a big thing of a problem of Essendon's is they can't actually run games out properly.
And I don't think they can score enough while they're running over the top of teams. Like that first quarter they did, I think they kicked 6 or 7 goals in the first quarter and then kicked 11 for the game.
Yeah, so it was 11-5 to 8-15.
Yeah, but in the first quarter, I'm pretty sure they had 6 or 7 on the board.
Yeah, see, that's crazy.
But it was good. Merritt nearly lost his Brownlow with that. The only reason he gets off that is because he's a Brownlow shot. I think he's leading the Brownlow at the moment. That was a 3-week sentence a week ago. I don't know how it's overturned this week.
Was that the slap in the face?
The slap in the face. Malikan done it last week and got 3 weeks.
Yep.
The only difference was one was a closed fist, I think.
Well, this is the thing. We can't actually... supporters and players and coaches have no idea what the tribunal is going to give them.
Well, I think the difference with Malikan is he caused a cut on the eye. Merritt's caused Blakey got back up and played on. So if you're going to swing at someone, make sure you swing at someone tough. Don't go against the princesses because you will be suspended.
But it shouldn't be the outcome, and we've discussed this many weeks now. It shouldn't be the outcome; it should be the action. But
we all saw it live and thought, "Oh, there goes his Brownlow."
Yeah, well,
everyone at the stadium thought that.
Yeah, they were saying after the show, after the game as well. But one thing I did notice from the game is how good Nate Caddy was.
Oh, Caddy was electric, but he was playing on a wing.
He was playing forward, but he was running up to the wing.
He was playing the Cameron role.
Yeah, Cameron, Mackay, that sort of role. Yeah. He was fantastic. Merritt was good again, as always.
Merritt's been good. He's leading the Brownlow. He's dead set. There's Smokey to win this.
Yeah,
I think he's probably 4 or 5 points in front of the next bloke.
And Nick Martin started at half back, but ended up running through the midfield a bit as well.
Beautiful.
So not too bad. I think one of the best players recently for Essendon has been Setterfield since he's come in. He's been fantastic.
Say that, but he was terrible on the weekend. If you actually at the game, I reckon he had about 6 or 7 turnovers, direct turnovers.
He was great. He got a few score assists as well, from what I
Yeah,
saw.
but 6 or 7 direct turn. Dunny was full losing at Setterfield.
Really?
Do you know who was probably nearly best on ground at quarter time? It pains him because he was nearly calling Essendon to apologise, but Ben Mackay, he was making him look very handy, very handy.
Maybe you saw the TikTok.
Well, he got the post, but
Yeah.
no, he was made him look very handy.
Just
Yeah,
having a
moving
look
on.
here. Will Setterfield. His disposal efficiency was 78.6. Couldn't have been too bad.
Exactly. We saying it was 5 or 6 direct turnovers, but it might have been to contest turnovers, but it was still turnovers. Dunny was losing his mind.
Bloody hell, Dunny. You got no idea what you're talking about, mate. Nick Martin turned it over more.
Did he?
Yes.
Maybe it was no, it was definitely Setterfield he's going at. He was losing.
Durham
But it was
turned
a
it
good
over.
game. Like Durham's getting better and better.
Yeah.
Durham had
I
a
do enjoy
huge
watching them
huge
play.
grab, and then missed the goal, but then had a great goal first quarter. But huge lead.
He just gives you his all, doesn't he? Every week, Durham.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good.
So yeah, that was a really dead game from about 2 quarters. First quarter, Essendon were up, then last quarter, Sydney were over the top, and the crowd was very quiet.
No, they would have been for sure. All right, keep moving on. Next game was a cracker.
Yeah, moving into
Absolute
Darwin,
cracker.
Gold Coast versus the Doggies. I think
Yeah.
start of the fourth quarter, Gold Coast had a bit of a lead, but yeah, the Doggies started to claw it back in the last few minutes, and I thought they're going to come over the top. But
It was 24 points going into the last.
yeah,
20 or 24 points going into the last, and we flicked over to the other game, me and the old man, because we thought, oh, this one's done.
yeah.
And then we looked up at a little screen and we're like, how are they 4 points behind? And we flicked back to watch the last 3 minutes.
It was an awesome game, and Ed Richards, Tom Liberatore are dominating the Dogs midfield at the moment, and then Bont's just the cherry on top.
Yep.
Yeah, Bont missed 3 early too, which is very un-Bont like. And then Matty Rao was very quiet early, but then got going.
Yeah.
I heard them on SEN, I think it was yesterday morning, and they were saying that the Dogs' best forward since Sam Darcy is out and Ugo Hagen, who knows what's happening with him, is actually the Bont.
Bont
Yeah, like because Norton didn't kick any on the weekend. I don't even know if he had he wasn't even able to see the ball or half the time, I don't think.
But that's Norton anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
and
he's not a key forward. He's like a second or third tier.
But like,
You know what I mean?
was it Riley Sanders or Riley West as well? They kicked a few.
Yeah, Riley West has been outstanding.
Yep.
He's been really good this year. He's having a bit of a breakout year quietly.
Yeah,
And
I really enjoy watching both them play. It's Gold Coast
and Sanders is flying along at the moment. Now, our biggest pet hate is game scheduled at the same time, boys.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't stand it.
Especially 2 games like this. That showdown was an absolute thriller, and this one was an absolute thriller. Lucky we got to watch the end of the showdown. Well, I was watching most of it.
Yeah.
But lucky they finished an hour apart. But if you watched one game, you missed an absolute cracker of the other one.
Yeah, exactly. I missed most of the Crows one because I was sort of watching this one.
Yeah, that was the same too.
But look, great signs from Gold Coast. They really look like they're going to play finals this year.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they'll play finals too because but they are unbeaten at Darwin.
Yeah,
They've really
and
turned
they've
out
only got
fortress.
one or two more games to go there in the next couple of weeks. So
Well, they're top 4 now, Gold Coast.
Yeah, they are.
I
Hardwick
believe they were
effect,
top
mate.
4 and-
He's such a good coach.
But yeah, you've got that midfield. That midfield's absolutely dominating at the moment. Anderson's been probably the slowest out of that midfield, which is a shock because he was flying along. But
Yeah,
and I hope they can keep that midfield together though, because there's a bit of talk about Rao. I think he stays.
yeah,
I think he stays. And look, you've got Bailey Humphrey running through there as well. Adds that little bit of different dimension to their midfield because it's a different type of player. So,
But take nothing away from the Bulldogs either. They come late and they were coming hard.
Yeah, they were
and
coming very
They looked good in that last quarter as well. So I think both these teams will be competing come end of the season.
do you think Sam Darcy would be the difference? I think he would be.
I think he would be.
I
too.
don't think he would have won them the game.
Nah, but I think it would have had Norton more free to maybe kick a couple, and Sam Darcy would have been over the top of their defender.
Oh, he clunks everything too.
Yeah,
so
over Collins.
would have been a different style of game, but then you don't know if Gold Coast would have shut off when they did. They might have fought it out a bit harder.
We do hope Gold Coast make the finals, because then we can see if they get to play at the Gold Coast or if they have to go to Brisbane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll see if they're playing at the Gabba or if they're going to play down at Metricon.
Absolutely. All right, next game was the showdown. Question: do you guys think this is the best rival in the game right now?
You mean Collingwood Adelaide?
The stripes, the prison bars.
Took me a second there.
Didn't hear nothing from Eddie this year. Normally I hear it a month
That's 'cause
leading
he's
up.
not president
They can't
anymore.
wear it. They can't wear this.
I
they
think-
can't wear that. I heard
this-
nothing about it.
Last year, I didn't say anything.
I can this season, yes, maybe Geelong Hawthorn might be close to that as well. Yeah,
And
but like,
Essendon and Collingwood's the rivalry there on Anzac Day is always huge as well.
yeah, it is. It doesn't matter where they stand on the ladder there on Anzac Day, doesn't. Yeah, but it's just because Port Adelaide and Adelaide are sort of on the same sort of path this year. They're sort of missing a few games and then getting a few good games. So,
I'll go far as this best interstate rivalry.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
I
say
agree.
the best interstate rivalry. I don't know if they've got some of the big Melbourne, just because the big Melbournes have been doing it for longer.
Yeah.
Well, the Carlton Collingwood one's not really there anymore.
No,
really?
that's done. But the Essendon and Collingwood's there. It's
Yeah.
and they're always blockbusters. Like Essendon's no good this year, and that Anzac Day was still a thriller.
Sydney and GWS are right, but Sydney just haven't been able to match up this year.
Dogs in GWS is usually pretty fiery. Actually,
Yeah.
Lions and Suns is usually pretty fiery as well. But I
was very
still
fiery.
think the Showdown's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Tiger Time's got Adelaide and Port nowadays have definitely the fiercest rivalry. Yeah. 100%.
So you had Rankin. He got moved forward when they were in a bit of trouble and kicked a quick 2 goals in a minute. Got them firing again. Port Adelaide, Horn Francis in theirs, and Butters off halfback.
Future St Kilda player.
Who?
Butters.
No, he's been
That's
offered too
Rosé.
much. He's been
Isn't that?
No.
Oh no, Butters is the one.
Butters been offered too much money from Port Adelaide, hasn't he?
No. So there's talk that they might withdraw the contract offer to TDK in favour of Butters instead.
There's talk they're doing both, mate.
Yeah, but they can't afford both.
No.
They've got a war chest to afford both. It just means they've got no cap for any future investments.
But
They can afford both just.
But they're going to lose Nas. Sorry, I get what you're saying.
Do you think they need TDK though? Because when you
No.
take I know. Take a look back at the last 3 grand finals. Who were the ruckmen, like the premiership ruckmen? We got Darcy Fort. We had Cameron Darcy.
Right. From Geelong.
And Reece Stanley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not like Darcy Cameron. He's I don't know.
He's one of the best ruckmen this year, man. I don't know.
A lot of people say that, but I don't know if he. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's his around the ground stuff. I don't actually rate him as a tap ruckman.
No,
I think
I
it's
don't
his
either.
around the ground where he gets out and about, and he's a bit quicker than the older ruckman.
But the year they
Or
won
the
it, he wasn't
bigger
one
ruckman.
of the best ruckmen in the league. Like, and this is what I was saying on the show the other
Even
week.
now, I don't reckon he's one of the best. Like I reckon Sherry's still better than him. I reckon, or he's probably maybe on par with Grundy, but then Grundy's that fast.
And he's no good.
Nah, Gorn's way out in front. TDK's way out in front.
But
Gorn's
also,
a mile clear of anyone this year
Yeah.
so
But-
far.
Marshall also showed on Friday night he can play. He's good at the lone rucks position. Doesn't
That
need a backup
he's-
ruck.
Also, he won't be backup ruck.
No.
He would be the backup ruck.
Correct.
So he's already come out and said if that's what the team wants to do, he'll go forward. And he likes playing forward as well.
Yeah, but
He
Then they go
prefers
back
solo
to-
ruck, but yeah, depends
I
what they
dunno.
do. They've already got that contract out. They can
Turtles-
withdraw it, I suppose. But
Turtles put Northby, Brisbane, and Tassie is now the biggest rivalry.
mate, look out, it's coming.
all right, we're getting sidetracked here. So, Butters, Rosé, Wines, top disposal getters for Power, and then Peatling, Worrell. He's having a fantastic year, Worrell in defence, and Ben Keys for the Crows.
Now, I can't talk too much Sunday because these games got me fucked. I watched half of this one, and a full last one.
Yeah.
I hate this. It's stupid. Play the North Melbourne game at 7 o'clock and play the Cats at 4 o'clock.
We'll start with the Tigers.
Yeah, the Richmond and the Tom Brown take down West Coast.
It was a fantastic match.
It was, and just I didn't get to see much of it because I was playing footy at the same time. But I did go back and see bits and pieces, and I saw Tom Brown take that defensive, run him down and take that tackle right near the end of the game. There.
And he was good all game, Tom Brown, too.
He needed to make that tackle though because he stuffed up on the bounce. Did you hear him when they interviewed him afterwards? He goes, I had to get that tackle because I stuffed up and I would have got drilled in the change rooms." I love that authenticity though. That's what I like interviews to be. I don't like it how they're so so trained on how to talk. Because
But
I
they
really
need to be
like,
though, because if you're not,
You
that's
get
when you
yourself in
get
trouble.
harsh. Yeah, you
well,
get yourself in trouble and
yeah, of
stuff like
course.
that. If you
I
say
know
the
why
wrong
they
thing.
do it. I get it, but I like the authenticity as well. Like how they just are themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh,
So it was a cracker game. It was the battle of the spoon.
Yep.
Well, not the spoon, but
Well, it is now.
two
I
that are
think
fighting out of the three of the
taking
spoon.
West Coast taking. I don't even think Richmond on the bottom. I think Melbourne would be closer
No,
to the
Richmond
bottom.
are above. Yeah,
Yeah.
Richmond are no, the Melbourne's above Richmond, but
Oh,
they're on the
yeah.
same points.
Yeah.
Same points as Sydney. They're all floating on the same. West Coast showed a bit of fight though. We haven't seen this out of West Coast
Nah,
this year.
especially over here. Like you do see it a bit more fight over there. They do play a lot better over in WA. But being here, it was really good to see.
Matty always kicked 2 goals. Just want to throw that out there, Brozzo, if you're listening. That was great. Harley Reid, 18 disposals, 1 goal. Yeah, it's okay. Okay.
He's still checked out. He wants to come home.
Yeah. Taranto was good for the Tigers.
He's been good the last 4 or 5, Toronto. He's
Yeah, he
been
has.
huge. I didn't think he was going to come through. I thought he was going to give up because everyone left. He got promised a dream, but he's been pretty good.
Yeah.
He has. Yeah. And his disposals actually improved this year. He was horrible last year.
But
he's
it used to be
actually
get on the
worked-
boot and go, didn't it? It
Yeah.
used to be just throw it on the boot and get it out of there because I'm sick of dealing with it. But
Yeah.
now he's actually shown a bit.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. Another breakout year for a player is Ryan Marriage for the Eagles. He's been outstanding. Jacob Hopper, right? So he gets a lot of the ball. Don't get me wrong. He got 24 touches. His disposal efficiency was 50%.
But
That's
that being
horrible.
said, it wasn't that when he was playing at Richmond. So he's one of those players that
He is at
needs the
Richmond.
silky players. Sorry?
He is at Richmond.
Oh, when he was playing at, sorry. Before he come to Richmond, because he needs those silky players around so he can just dish it. He's one of those hard ball where you don't want him kicking the ball, you want him winning the ball and dishing it to the runners.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Very true. Tiger Time here has Tom Brown has probably made the rundown of the year. Both teams blew some gettable opportunities at goal. Yeah, 100% they did, which is evident by the scoreline 11-15 to 11-13. So, but no, it was good. It was a good game to watch. Some positive signs there again for Richmond.
Yeah.
I think there was more positive signs for Richmond than there were Eagles.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Eagles just showed heart. Like you get those games, they knew they had to be up for the fight. This is possibly one of their only wins, so they had to come in and fight this one out and didn't get the win, but they showed a bit. But Richmond, yeah, showed more. And West Coast, I think it was more, if we don't win this, we're going to struggle to win one.
Well,
I want to get this one out of the way.
A lot of teams are underestimating Richmond. Like
Yeah, I think so.
They got that early win over Carlton. They got that win over Gold Coast.
Bring
as
that
well.
up.
Well, they've got the experience too, and I think that's helping rebuild the club quicker.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at North Melbourne and West Coast, they're all young. There's none of that. Whereas you've got Bolto, you've got Taranto, you've got Hopper, you've got that experience coming through each line.
Well,
Lynch, Shaw.
You got bolted during the day. You're not allowed to have him at night for a while. But
No, he's still on curfew.
All right, let's keep moving on.
all right,
Goals.
this was a cracking game. This one, Geelong versus GWS. But I think Geelong lost this more than GWS won it.
I agree with that.
Well,
14,
17, yeah.
Even in the last 3 minutes, Sean Manor took two shots at goal and both out on the falls in the last 5 minutes, and then Flixarves, I don't know, he was about 35 metres out, and he wanted to run around and
Yeah, hit the post.
yeah, he wanted to kick it on the arc. I don't know why he just don't go back and drop punt it. Like I think a man his size and his stature should be able to kick it 35 metres straight through.
And then Dangerfield took that mark, turned around and kicked it too short to his teammate. I can't remember who he kicked it to, but too short in the 50. So, and then the teammate got tackled.
Yeah.
So, but they're non-15. It's starting to kill games too.
No, I meant too short as in like his teammate tried to dive for it to mark it.
Oh, yes,
So
yeah,
kicked it
gotcha.
short.
Poor kick.
Because I've seen some genuine in this game where they were 25 and they call and play on. I'm like,
Oh, really?
but then I think it was the Collingwood. So in the Collingwood game, he kicked it to him. The bloke turned around, kicked it back. This was play on. This is fair. And he kicked the same person. One's play on, one's a fair. Like I don't understand it. We're confusing everyone. It's sucked.
He might have took 2 steps back.
But they could play kick to kick, and one was play on, one was a mark.
Turtle, Geelong couldn't get 2 gimme umpire wins in a row. Tiger Time, sort of like the home game for the Giants down in Geelong, given their remarkable record. At GMHBA, G stands for Giants.
Yeah, well, they're 5 on the trot, 6 on the trot now, I think.
Yeah, they're bouncing back.
5.
And
5, is it? Yeah,
5.
5 on the trot.
Yeah.
and they're trying to prove Tassie wrong.
Maybe they'll start requesting home games at Geelong.
Well, they've requested MCG home games. They actually
did see
want to
that,
play more
actually.
down here. They actually want to
GWS,
play
yeah.
more games at the MCG, which is smart.
Yeah,
I
They
think
100%.
play 2 a year unless they make the granny. It's not enough.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But there was some big Hogan kicking 7. I think he kicked.
Yeah,
Had a
he
chance
did.
at 8.
Against Geelong, it's great.
He went back 2 and took a mark late too.
He ended up with 22 disposals. That's a huge game.
Great game.
Huge game. Tom Green was good. 37 disposals. Whitfield 30. Bailey Smith, he's got to be up there with Recruit of the Year, doesn't he?
He's flying along, and we knew he was going to fly along. We knew he should have been playing this role at the Bulldogs. Bevo wouldn't give him a shot in there. Another team, how often do we see it? You go to another team, they put you where you should be, and you just shine.
Yep, absolutely. It's good to see, actually. It's really good to see.
You know what else is good to see? Artie coming in the chat with he leads every sentence with "You never walk alone."
Totally. It's like his sign off for his email.
Yeah.
Oh, sugar. But no, it was good. It was really good. Bailey Smith,
So I didn't
35
catch the end of
disposals.
it because of the North Melbourne game, but
Yep.
this is why we hate Sunday football for this reason.
Absolutely. Now we'll
Yep.
get on to the Sunday game because what a way to finish the weekend.
Oh, what's a great way to finish it. And,
You've got the cellar dweller North Melbourne and top of the table Brisbane Lions drawing.
yeah.
Mate, it is not a great. North Melbourne should have won this game, but you know what?
They
I'm
showed
always
a lot of fight. Like even though when they looked like they were down and out a couple of stages, they fought back and
Well, even when Brisbane kicked
Kept
that
in touch.
last, I walked off thinking it's over, went to my room to watch it in here, and then we kicked one back and got it back to level. But normally I'm upset by draws, but I was actually finding myself. I was pretty happy with it in come Monday morning. I wasn't that night because I thought we should have won, but Monday morning I wasn't upset as I normally are when we lose. So.
Just going to catch up on chat quickly here. So Turtles got Geelong are missing 3 key defenders to be fair for Hogan to dominate, that is true. And Tiger Time's got first time since 2013 that a player kicked 7 or more against Geelong, which is when Monfries did for Port.
Ooh,
So that's a
good
huge stat. Really good stat. Thank you, Monfries. And Jamar Statsman, take note.
It's not the stats man anymore. It's a pickleball.
Oh, sorry.
So everyone kept saying how far you're going to run, and as soon as I seen it was in Tassie, I said it's in Tassie. You don't blow teams out of the water in Tassie. It just
Nah.
doesn't happen. They're always close games, and when you give young kids a chance at close games, they normally find another leg.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
North still can't find a way to win, but
So
they
you
normally find another leg.
But
But
you must be
that'll
getting pretty
come-
chubby over the last 3 weeks, are we? Haven't been able to run for the last 3 weeks.
Well, the thing is, right, the signs are there for North Melbourne. You're starting to now get close to winning, like against good teams.
Yeah.
And soon enough, it's going to tick over, it's going to click, and you're going to start winning these close games. It's all part of the development. So someone sent a message asking if Clarko should be under pressure because of the, not winning. And I basically reminded them that, it's only really his second year in as coach because the first year was a wipeout because of all that shit that happened. So he hasn't had a lot of time with this club. And you look at West Coast Eagles, he's been there same time frame. Is he
As
under pressure?
Clarko, yeah.
You know what I mean? And what about
Well, I think it's the
Long-
comments about that. I don't think he's under pressure, which I've said. I think he gets another year, but I think it's becoming because we've got 9 first round, 9, 10, 12. I think it's 13 first round selections in this team. And they're still a bit fumbly, bit not finding a way.
But you
I
can't
think that's
rush,
where the criticism comes from.
but you can't rush development either. People develop at different paces. Like it's just natural sometimes. Some players will come in and dominate straight away. Others take a little bit of time. Doesn't matter if you're draft pick number 1 or you're draft pick number 99. So there's got to be a little bit of realism behind it as well. Well, what about the Freo coach? This is his 6th year there. Do you know what I
And
mean?
yeah,
I know what you
they're
mean, yeah.
real hit and miss too, for
Correct.
But no, Brisbane Brisbane were a bit sloppy, but North Melbourne, I think that come because of a bit of pressure. Brisbane were pretty good on the pressure too, but in that third quarter where North got on top, they won the clearances 13-1 against Brisbane.
What was that, sorry?
They won the clearances 13-1 in the third quarter
Yes.
against Brisbane. Now that's the best midfield in the one of the best midfields in the comp, and North made them look pretty average.
And Sherry got most of them.
To be fair, it was all Terry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terry dominated. When you say Ruckman he had 7 clearances in that third quarter.
That's massive, mate. Absolutely massive. I'm just going to go here. Turtle said Brisbane struggled against Tigers and West Coast. I think it's meant to say West Coast.
Yep.
And should have lost to North. They will not go back to back. Oh.
Oh, you don't
Could be
know. They
cold.
could be just taking it easy.
That's a huge
They're
call.
still on top of the ladder there.
Tiger time. Who would have predicted that the first draw of the year would be North and Brizzy? I don't think anyone would have, to be honest.
No.
Artie with his typical sign on as AFL 26 is absolutely amazing. And Turtle, thanks Artie, I'll be buying tomorrow. I've had a lot of glitches about it. I'm going to wait.
All
for
AFL
the patches
games
to
have
come in.
glitches though.
When they
And-
first come out, they do. I'm going to wait for them to be tidied up before I look at getting it. But
Oh, I'm definitely not getting it. I hate football
that
games.
is the end of the round review, boys. So that
Beautiful.
went a little bit longer than we normally would spend. But
That's all right. We got no guests on tonight, and we'll start
Yeah,
through the rest of the
we
show.
can get through now.
absolutely. So
All
we'll
right.
talk about upcoming round.
Next
Can you
week,
see that,
boys.
Todd?
I can see this. We've got a well, you've darkened the screen for me, so if I can get back here, we had to change the background from white to black just so I could look at the screen. Gold Coast Hawthorn, boys. Another cracker. Gold Coast home. I think it's up in. Is
It's
this
in
one Darwin too?
Yeah, it is Darwin. Yes. Yeah. So
I really want to take Hawthorn, but you can't go against Gold Coast at
Yeah,
Darwin. I think I'm
no,
going to
I
take
agree.
Gold Coast.
I agree.
yeah, I have to go Gold Coast too. Oh yeah, I do.
And then we've got the worst first half team versus one of the best second half teams, Sydney versus Carlton. Who's is it going to be first half or second half to take this one on?
Here's a stat for you. Carlton have not won in Sydney since 2003.
You put that up. I'm going Sydney.
Sydney.
I'm going to go Carlton. We're going to break
Then the
break it.
game we're going to, if you want to come down and chat to us at TNT, we might be there before the game as well.
Yes, yes.
Collingwood, Adelaide,
Beautiful.
We'll be
At
at
the
our
MCG.
favourite shop.
No, we won't. Be.
which we did not get
We won't be there.
discount,
It's
Tazzy.
really
So
MCG.
Oh.
you might have to talk to her. We mentioned TNT Footy. My brother said he did not get the 10% off.
Oh, it's
Happy
whatever
hour.
happy hour prices are.
Oh, happy hour. Oh. I'm going Collingwood.
Yeah, I'm going Collingwood.
Price.
I reckon it's gonna be a lot closer than we.
I reckon it's going to be a
think.
strap fest, but
Yeah.
I reckon Collingwood.
I reckon it's going to be a shootout.
Do you reckon?
Shootout.
We'll see.
Shootout. Both teams. are
Shootout
high scoring.
Let's have a look at the weather.
Adelaide
Let's
then,
have a
I
look at
think,
the weather.
with Collingwood
Midnight,
missing
later in the
their forwards. I think a
Adelaide
shootout-
love shooting.
No,
goals.
they'll be back the forwards.
Yeah, I reckon it's a
I
shootout.
don't think Schultz will.
Oh nah, not shoots, but we'll have like
Still got Solomon.
my check.
If it's a shootout, Adelaide. If it's close, Collingwood. All right, GWS Freo.
GWS.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going GWS.
have to go Giants.
Then we've got Port Adelaide, Geelong.
In Port, I'm going to go Geelong.
Yeah, I'll go Geelong too. lose
Port,
two in a row
Port
in
play
Adelaide.
very,
Oof.
very well. They're not going to lose 2 in a row either.
Oh, actually, instead of me just guessing, why don't I actually bring up who I've tipped? Because I've already done it.
I tip after the show. Then we've got Bulldogs, Essendon.
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs every day of the week.
Yeah, I've got Bulldogs. Then we're probably going to have the rare game of the round, maybe nearly.
Oh, I've got
Richmond,
Port,
North
just for the record.
Melbourne.
North
I've actually
Melbourne.
gone North.
Yeah, I'll go
I
North.
don't know why you're surprised. They're favourites. I'm
Yeah.
on North.
Richmond has shown good signs, but North.
Yeah, I'm on North too.
I've gone Port as well, by the way.
Brisbane, Melbourne.
Brisbane.
Lions
Yeah,
by
I've
at
gone
least
Lions.
45 points.
So you say that, but they struggled last week, but they won't do that twice in a row.
No,
And
I
they won't
reckon
do that at
they
the
won't. Not
Gabba.
at the Gabba.
Yeah.
West Coast, St Kilda. Now, St Kilda's probably not going to play defensive footy, so I'm going St Kilda.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards
I
St
dare
Kilda,
say they're gonna-
but West Coast showed a bit of fight over the weekend, so I wouldn't be surprised if they turn up at home and be 5 goals better. But yep, we'll see.
So who you tipping?
I'm tipping St Kilda, but
Saints.
I'm going
It's going to be
Eagles.
a lot closer.
Go on West Coast.
I've tipped Eagles in my tipping. I got a lot of fucking numbers to make up to get back up the ladder. So I've got to tip a bit odd.
Yeah, but if you tip like that, you end up further behind.
Yeah.
That's all right. It's got to risk
normally
it
when you're that far behind, you normally end up further behind tipping roughies.
It's better off going like Carlton against Sydney or Adelaide against Collingwood.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm going
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah.
See how we go.
See how we go.
All right, another round. That was short and sweet.
It was. Now, Moisty's controversial call, and he actually changed it. He said that I'm on the Pies, but he removed it.
Oh, I've never said that once. No, I've got one this week now. I've been pretty harsh on the Pies, so we'll get on North this week. All right, pack the bags, boys. Let's send North to Tassie. I'm happy to play at Tassie. I reckon we move the club uproot, get an academy, new stadium. I reckon fuck Tassie off. We bring North down there.
North Melbourne Devils, you reckon?
But no, North Melbourne, just keep Roos. Tassie Roos are fine. And we would finally get Collingwood to play a game in Tassie.
Don't be silly. We'd only play you once and that'd be at home.
No, that's my controversial call. I reckon Tassie, there's a lot of hiccups with them at the moment. I reckon just send North down there. I'm happy to move. North supporter. We'd get an academy. We've made it a bit of a fortress down there. We can move down.
I saw, I can't remember what clubs it was on the weekend. I think it was Melbourne and one of the other clubs that hadn't been too good. And that actually had a merger conversation. So Melbourne merging with someone, which would bring the comp back to 18 teams.
I don't think you can merge.
They've done it before.
Yeah, but they've done it before interstate team.
Yeah,
you can't merge
they did
Melbourne
it with like
with St
Fitzroy
Kilda.
Lions with like a VFL side with a Brisbane.
Yeah, and they merged it and moved it up there.
And
Brisbane was already up
like,
there. Yeah, Brisbane Bears.
Yeah, but you talk Sydney up to there.
And
not Sydney.
Was it
Sorry.
Footscray.
Detroit.
The Bulldogs. Who do they merge with? Or they just changed?
No one.
Footscray
No,
to
there was.
Brisbane?
So there was talk of Hawthorn and I think it was Fitzroy merging before it was Fitzroy and Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
pretty sure.
think we can merge in this day and age. I don't see it happening. You're better off axing two clubs and bringing a brand new one in. I don't think a merger works.
I'd understand if it was like Port Adelaide and Adelaide merged into one, but I think they got a big enough grow base that they don't need.
No, well, we're
merge.
expanding out there. It'd have to be two Melbourne clubs, and I can't see it happen. I'd rather you move a Melbourne club out of the state.
Which is what they've done, I think, in NRL. They've brought in a NRL team in Western Australia, and they've kept the like it was. It's not, but say it was the Panthers. So then they're going to be called like Perth Panthers or something.
Yeah, just moved a team over there.
I think it was at North Sydney Bears or something like that. I can't remember that.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, but then that'll even out the competition. So because at the moment they're playing with an odd amount of teams in the comp.
We're going to merge. Turtle. He reckons merge North and Saints, give one less Melbourne team, and then Freo and Gold Coast. Now we're trying to develop interstate, so you leave the interstate teams alone.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Gold Coast and Freo, you don't. The North St Kilda you could maybe do, but I don't know. There's too much history to merge those two clubs.
Now I think I've
Freo and Gold. Yeah, and
looks like I've been corrected as well. So what I saw today might not have been accurate. Where Carlton haven't won at the SCG since 2003. So Tiger Times got there. Carlton beat the Swans at the SCG in 2019.
ooh,
Was that in the final though? Maybe it was a home away season. They haven't beaten them there. They might have beat them in the final.
I'm just gonna try.
Anyway, we're off to Woo Girls Wowee.
Yeah.
yes. So this week, I have one in regards to broadcasting. I keep putting on the back burner as there's other issues keep brought to my attention. So this week I'm going Collingwood back under scrutiny with only 2 games left outside of Victoria. Currently they have played 4 away, 5 home. That will make it 6 including gather round overall with 18 in Melbourne. So let's take a look at all the other Melbourne clubs. We've got Geelong. They've got 3 away and 6 home with 4 away to come. Hawthorn have got 2 away with 6 home, plus they've had 1 in Tassie with 4 away, and they also have another 3 in Tassie to come. But you can't count the Tassies as away because they sold those games to Tassie.
You can count the Tassies away.
No.
Collingwood's never played in Tasmania.
No, they haven't. Carlton got 2 away at the moment with seven home games with 4 away to come. Bulldogs have got 4 away with 5 home games and 2 away to come. St Kilda have got 3 away games with 6 home with 3 to come away. That is. Melbourne, they only have 2 away with 7 at home with 3 away games to come. Essendon have 2 away with 6 home games with 3 away to come, and also plus the GC postponed game. Richmond have 2 away with 7 home with 3 away games to come. North Melbourne have 2 away games with 6 home. They've played 1 in Tassie and they got 2 away games to come. So they've only had 4 away games, but they do get 2 WA.
They're playing 2 in WA and 2 in Tassie. An extra
you sold them there to get a bit extra
3
cash.
in Tassie and an extra 2 in WA. You cannot say we don't try. We travel in 2 weeks more than Collingwood travels for the rest of the year. And you're going to put us on the bottom of the list.
But you have to, because otherwise you
Put us on the bottom of the list.
You don't get the ticket sales in Melbourne, so you have to go to interstate to try and get some money.
North Melbourne sell a lot this day and age.
Then why
They sell better than Melbourne.
why they're selling games in the state then?
That's more West Coast too. West Coast and Freo. Someone had to do it. No one else put their hand up. North Melbourne said, all right, we'll go.
Because they want to travel less.
Yeah, the WA teams do.
Yeah. Kick on, Egi, sorry.
We don't mind. We'll win everywhere, mate.
That's the wrap. So, in other words, they're picking on Collingwood, but I think Geelong's the only one that's got it's more that has more away games than any other team. Everyone, all the others sit on 6 as well. Even except for Melbourne, Essendon, and Richmond, who will only get 5 games outside of Victoria for the whole season.
That's fair.
That's fair. So,
Todd's thinking of something to say. I can see him.
No. I know why Collingwood. It's because they've been too good for too long, and it's a fortress there, and you can't complain that they're shit at football. So that's what we complain about, and they never get away games. But
the only reason the winter there's only two away games left, but I think Bulldogs only got 2 away as well left to come, and all the other teams have got 3 away. But
just catch up on chat here. So, Turtles got merged North and South. Oh, no, sorry. Calzo. No, it tells it was Western Sydney Bears from the 80-90s, brought back the name. That's all. Okay. That makes sense. They could still do it, though. Artie, Geelong should merge with Tassie, become the Tassie Ducks. And then Tiger Time, that was in the home and away season when they Blues last beat Swans. Yeah, it was. I had a quick look. It's 2019, and then before that was 2011, but not since.
Tassie.
We
fact check on this show, mate.
I know, right?
Before you go open your mouth, you fact check these things.
I don't know
you
where
watch
I saw it
TikTok and fucking AI TikTok, and then you fact check, mate.
No, I didn't have time.
Factual show. What?
Did not have time. And plus, it just shows that we do this on the fly. So,
fact check.
All
you
right.
don't see Egi coming in with all these stats. He does his stat checks.
This is true. This is very true.
Thank you, Egi, for another wowee. That was a good one.
You're welcome.
That's
Now
awesome.
we're moving
North
into
Melbourne's
tipping.
playing the most home games by the look of it. We don't leave the state.
You do. You only get 4 away games. But yes, we do. What do we do? Tipping is where we are. Triple R Kumar's on top now. He's taken over the lead from Fig Jam. He's on 60, with Fig Jam on 59, and Vanderhawk is also on 59. We jackpot again this week, so the tipping hasn't got off. So we're up to $100 this week.
It was close.
It was very close.
Eights in there.
There was a few 8s, but I think most of them all chose Geelong over GWS. So everyone
Maybe Sydney over Essendon.
Yeah. So it was most contributing factor was the Geelong one. Geelong one that everyone went over GWS.
GWS.
But yes, if you haven't joined yet, links down below. First place $250 for the year, second place $100, and third gets $50, and we're giving away $100 if you get them all right this week. So.
Absolutely. And if you do sign up to our Patreon, those prizes will improve or increase next year.
Yes. So yeah, we might even have it Patreon exclusive as well. So
yeah, you might even get a weekly jackpot for Patreon.
Ooh,
absolutely. All right, viewer questions, guys. We are up for it. So we actually didn't get a lot of questions this week, which is the first time since we started doing this segment. So for those watching, if you have questions, please do submit on a Saturday or Sunday. The post goes up on Instagram. I'm going to put a poll up. Probably going to do it a couple of times just to get see what results we get through, whether or not people would prefer to submit via Instagram as a question through the box that we do at the moment, or whether we post a link on our socials and people can actually record a voice message. So we're always trying to improve the show, improve the segment. So these are just little things that we're looking at testing out in the background. So whilst we go through this question, if anyone does have a question for us that's in chat, type away, put it through, and we'll answer it for you. So, question this week: Carlton _flaggers. I reckon he's our most.
Mate, question every week.
Every week.
He's red hot.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
Thank you.
I
Absolutely.
don't think I've seen a question other than Carlton though. It's
That's
every
okay.
week, but
That is okay. So he's got here. Do you think Jack Silvani will stay at Carlton? Is this media hype? So I'll let you, one of you or both of you go first.
same as.
Sorry.
Oh, you go.
I don't think it's media hype, or is it more like representation hype, where they've had an offer come through for him that's of good money. So hey, let's put it out in the media and let's see what other offers we can get.
I was going to say the same. He's probably trying to get his money bumped at Carlton, but it also depends on the money. 200,000, he's not leaving. 500,000, he's out.
I don't think so.
I think he's not going to turn down 500,000 extra a year.
I think he will.
I don't think he'll get 500,000 extra a year, but if he does, I don't think he turns it down. Loyalty is only so much.
So did you see his interview last week?
No.
So basically, when they interviewed him, he said, I've been a Carlton player for over 10 years, but I've been a Carlton supporter my whole life.
Josh, Nick Dacos goes for Carlton, does he? Where's he play?
No, but Nick Dacos' dad played
LDU
for Collingwood.
goes for St Kilda. Where's he play?
But you've also got to think of the
Nick Watson
generation.
went for Collingwood. Where does he play?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like being a supporter of a club does make the club might turn around and say we don't want you.
I
The
don't
club
think
might
they will.
shop
He'd
him
get too
around.
uniform. Him and Wiedering are rated third and fourth in the defences for this year.
It all comes down to money because Carlton, if they offered TDK what we all think they're going to offer TDK, they're going to have to bump that number. It means nothing left in the salary cap. You might have to get rid of a few of these players because you can't afford them.
They've already said they're not increasing their offer to TDK.
But what's their offer at the moment? It's 1.1.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
so
we
1.1.
spoke before, you don't need a number one ruckman to win games, and they've already got Ryan Marshall. So
I actually
No, you don't.
And this is a Taz controversial call. I actually think that we should sign Silvani before we sign Tom DeConey.
Ooh. On Silvani, why is his nickname J-Sauce? Where did that come about?
Jack Silvani.
Jack Silvani.
Because his
That's
dad
name?
his dad was Sauce for son of Silvani.
Oh, okay.
Jack Silvani's dad played and his grandpa played.
I know his dad, I didn't know his grandpa did.
His grandpa Sergio Silvani.
It's an interesting question though because it turns down to loyalty over money. But I think players are starting to understand, and I could be wrong, but it doesn't go the other way. There's a lot of players like Treloar showed loyalty, got booted. Grundy showed loyalty, got booted. I know I'm picking on Collingwood here.
Noble.
I'm not meaning to pick on Collingwood. They're just the two biggest ones that have happened lately.
No, it makes sense. You're not wrong.
Teams signing big contracts and then going, oh, we don't want to. The other one, Grundy was Melbourne, so he's gone to two clubs. Two clubs are paying his contract at Sydney.
Yeah.
So,
but then you've also got the other side where loyalty does stick around as well, but both ways. So it'll be interesting. I think that his performance warrants an extension and a good extension. It's just whether or not.
I don't think he'll leave. The only way I can see him leaving is if what happens to TDK happens to him and it's too good a money to turn down.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what he'd be on at Carlton, but he won't be on what TDK is getting offered.
Oh, no way. No way.
He might be on 6 or 7. So if
That's
St Kilda offer him 1, I don't feel he can turn that down.
Yeah, I still think he will. I think it would have to be a substantial difference for him to leave. I really do. He just seems like that type of guy as well when you look at his character. Like I've watched.
And then you don't know what substantial to him is though.
That's exactly right.
Like $3 million could be nothing to him. He could care less about $3 million.
Correct.
Also, we got a late question in. Before that, Artie's put you can improve the show Or he actually improved the shoe by wearing a bloody hat, Spud. And then
I've had to get real close to see that question.
Kilzo's put, who can GWS bring in or let go to win a flag?
I don't think they need to do anything.
Nah,
I think they're fine. Like, you can't really do anything this year.
As you know, I think they're not a final side this year.
Yep.
I don't know, Calzo. I think there's a few changes that they'd need to look at, but I think what they're paying for some of the players that they signed long term has put them in a bit of a tight position when it comes to being able to attract a bigger player, for example. Cornelio's on. Cornelio and Kelly.
Yeah.
And they're not
Stringer
exactly
coming in hasn't been a whole lot. Well, I think it was a bit better on the weekend, Stringer.
Yeah, but they're paying a pack of potato chips for him. They're paying him nothing.
It's more like Cornelio and Kelly deals, which are in excess of 2.3 million.
But Stringer kicked 3 on the weekend. I think he was pretty handy.
Yeah, I think it's the first game he actually
had the ball on a string.
Yeah. This year, I don't think there's much they can do. The team's set this year, but I don't know, unless they want to shop around. But they're in that window, so you don't really want to shop around your talent players or bring too high profile player in.
And Connor Ryden's just come back in for the last few games, hadn't he? So he's gonna lift even better, and he was so good for them. I don't know if it was last year. I think he got injured near the end of last year, but the year before he was really good.
Is Sam Taylor playing?
Taylor played. Yep,
and Jack.
Yeah, they're both playing. Yep.
Yep.
But you look at it and you go, opening round they bet the premiership favourites by 30 points and made it look easy. So they're not out of this year by any stretch. Their best football competes.
Yeah.
It can, yes. I think they need to look at trying to keep Leah, but then how do they keep him when he wants to play senior footy and he's not getting in over the other two?
Yeah, they won't keep Leah. I think he'll be.
Apparently, he's going to St Kilda as well.
Yeah, I've heard that. St Kilda's got money and they've got to pay overs to get these players.
Yeah.
Just to get to the club.
What do you think, Kelso? Who do you think they should let go and bring in? I think Cornelio could be one that could go.
Yeah, but then he pops up and wins games sometimes. So I don't know. I don't think they changed too much this year because their best is being good. I think they need to keep their team healthy. Like they keep Hogan in, they keep those sort of players in, and they're a lot better side.
It's got Stringers so hot and cold. Do the Greens stay? I think the Greens. I think Toby's there. I'm pretty sure Tom's there, but I haven't. Yeah.
If Toby was going to leave, he would have left last contract.
Correct.
When he was looking to shop around.
Correct. Stringer's just. I don't rate Stringer. I never have.
No.
To be honest.
Package.
Yeah. Never rated him. Never rated him.
He's a premiership player, mate.
What? Do not rate him.
All right, and as always, don't forget to check out the Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, shop, and
Patreon.
Patreon. I was just trying to think of the name, man. I don't know what it's called.
Or is it Patreon? Patreon.
And, I can't read.
No, Artie, we will never walk alone.
We always have each other, Artie, so you're not alone either.
That's it. So, thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks, boys, for another good show.
Thanks for a great show. And we'll see you all next week or on Saturday at
Don't
MCG
forget to
at
come
1 o'clock.
Saturday. Yeah,
Yes.
MCG will be there maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yep.
Having a beer before the game, I'm guessing.
Yes, all 12.
Absolutely. I'm also working on putting our footy kicking goal competition together. So keep an eye on our
we need to redo it, don't we?
Yeah, we'll surely need to redo it. I think
I was highly distracted.
We can't do it down at Collingwood change rooms.
Nah.
That's good. We'll do it. We'll do one every year. See if we improve.
Yep.
All right, guys. Let's hope this weekend's another explosive round of footy.
See you all.
Peace.